Hello, welcome to the finale of The Bachelorette. Go Get That Rose. We're recapping Tayshia's final 2 episodes. Woo! I am your host, Sarah. With me, as always, is my co-host, J Wade.
Hey, what's up, everybody? I wonder if Tayshia would go on a date with me. She's awesome.
Yeah, we made it. We're at the final 2 episodes. We get a nice little break before, like a week break, and then we're back at it again for The Bachelor. But you know, what did you think of how? Just quick thoughts on how this season wrapped up.
There was I don't know. Ben coming back was kind of a surprise for me. You had said that you didn't think it. You said you thought it was going to be him. So you thought it was going to be him. Obviously, I didn't know who it was going to be. I was kind of thinking, like, honestly, I was thinking like American Psycho's coming back in the picture here. Like he's not been rejected enough. Like 3 times is the charm. But no, I could tell the whole time that old dude wasn't what's his knuckle, not Zach and not Ivan, but the other guy, Brendan. See, once we get down, I'm starting to kind of get their names. I just you could tell by looking at him that there was something going on with him. But yeah, Ivan, that's my guy. I'm sticking by Ivan.
I have so many thoughts. I normally don't like the fantasy suites in the last episodes because they're just like usually very formulaic by that point, and I just get annoyed. And it's both people are like, I love her so much. I just get really annoyed.
Yeah.
These were great episodes because the fantasy suites one, like, stuff happened in these episodes I don't think we've ever seen before.
Different stuff. Never mind. I thought you meant other stuff. Never mind.
No, we still didn't see that. I've been thinking, so I just finished the finale like 20 minutes ago, so that's still very fresh in my mind. But I've been thinking, I feel like I kind of have an unpopular opinion now about Tayshia. And I really like Tayshia. I think she's one of the best bachelorettes we've had. But watching these last 2 episodes really kind of had me thinking that she had no idea what she wanted. And I just felt like she really was not ready for this and was very overwhelmed, which is fine, but you could really tell these last ones when she like invited Ben back or just these different things that I feel like she was doing things that normally people would have called out in the past, her actions, but I didn't see a lot of people really calling her out on like letting Ben come back or telling Zach that she loved them before she's officially supposed to or whatever. And I think it's probably because people hated Claire so much that they were just like, anything Tayshia does is great. So I still think she was a great bachelorette. I just think if it was a normal season, I think a lot of people would call her out on some stuff and be like, she's not ready.
Right. Well, the biggest reason, or the biggest thing that biggest sign rather, that would tell you that she isn't ready is how she was talking over these last 2 episodes. If you didn't know that she had already been on this show in the past, you would think this was her first time on it. Because I'm sitting there and I'm talking back to the TV while I'm watching it, and I'm going, dude, you know, what do you mean you're not sure if you're ready to get married? This is what this show is. You've been on this show before. You know what you
knew what was involved when you came on the show, and you agreed.
It was even worse than when Brendan was like, I'm not sure if I'm ready for this. And it's like, and I'm sitting there going, why did you sign up to come on this show then? But it's even worse for Tayshia because she's been on it before. Twice. And it's just like, wow.
Yeah. So let's jump into it. I want to try and keep it a little bit in order, but I mean, we can jump around, I guess. But starting out Monday night was the fantasy suite. So you had your 3 guys. It went Ivan, Zach, and then Brendan. We can just cover all of Ivan's stuff right now. I love Ivan. Ivan. He was sweet. I hated the 2 dates, or the dates that they showed I just thought they were so stupid at this point. Like, why were they in an ice bucket doing this, like, thing? I don't know.
Yeah.
It's a typical, like, bachelor date that they do longest kiss trying to break the record. I feel like it's not a real record and they just made it up.
Yeah.
I was like, this is like, I feel like at this point, I would like to see them, because I get it, because normally they're out in the world and they're just exploring different places, but they can't do that, so I understand. But I kind of wish maybe it was more like, hey, let's just watch a movie or let's just talk and really get to know each other, because next week we're gonna get, you know what I mean? Instead of
Yeah.
stupid stuff, like, let's have them just sit there and drink coffee and talk to each other, or that's interesting too. Because I still
Right.
feel like at this point, we still didn't know that much about these guys, like, still. You know what I
Well,
mean?
yeah, well, something I was thinking about last night while watching this was I see what I think would be interesting and what I would like to see is them have the conversations like, what kind of music do you like? What kind of movies do you like? What are your interests other
Yeah.
than this stupid love crap that we're on this game
Yeah.
show for? Who are you really?
Yeah.
That's the kind of stuff that,
That's
because that's the kind of
important.
stuff that I'm going to talk to a girl about on our first date.
Yeah.
I'm going to, that's the things, those are the things I love. So I'm going to inquire how she feels about those things and find out what she loves and see if we have anything in common. Now, maybe they have these conversations. I highly doubt it, but that's what I would like to see. That's what I would think would be interesting.
I think they tend to have those kind of conversations in the fantasy suites when there's no cameras, besides some of the other stuff. But I know a lot of people are usually just excited to just be able to have those kind of conversations without cameras around and just talk about all kinds of stuff, which I kind of think that's why we talked about it, message each other, that I don't think Ivan and Tayshia had sex, used
No.
their, I don't think they did. And I think that they used their time to talk, which is great, but that kind of led to his going home, which we're
Yeah.
kind of jumping around, but I kind of want to talk about because it's fresh on my mind. Um, that's one of the moments that I did not like Tayshia, because I just felt like she wasn't being completely honest with him why she was sending him home, because they were talking very vague about, she was like, we had these conversations about religion and we're on two different pages, and Ivan was like, yeah, I figured that was going to be a issue or whatever, but they never said what it was, which I'm kind of two minds. Like, you don't have to put your whole self out there, but if you've already put your whole self out there, like, why withhold other information? You know what I mean? Like, he's already talked about deep stuff. Like, why not just tell
Yeah.
us what's your religious point of views that's so different? And I just like, maybe that was a factor, but I don't think that was the whole reason why she sent him home. And it kind of pissed me off that she wasn't just like, look, I'm just not that, we just don't have that chemistry like I do with Ben. Like, I just wish she was more honest with him.
Yes. Yes. You
That's what
said the
made
key
me
word
mad.
there, Ben. Because if
Ben,
Ben hadn't come back, he would have gotten a
he would
rose.
have been
Come
there.
on.
And that's what I mean. That's where I feel like
Yeah.
she should
She should have
have,
just been honest with him.
she should have,
I like Ben more than I like you.
yeah.
I'm sorry.
Yeah, because
There you go. There it
maybe that's
is.
the conversation she would have had if Ben didn't show up and she was sending him home. Like, there's this religious thing there. But I think, yeah, because of the fact that Ben was there, I think it just makes it obvious that, like, that's the reason why
Yeah.
he went home. There's no chemistry. She has more, not no chemistry, but she has a better chemistry with Ben. And
Which I
I
don't
mean,
understand how. That dude is he's like a freaking stone, dude.
I have so much to say
He's a
about Ben.
walking, talking stone.
But I do really respect Ivan because he handled himself like a champ.
Yes.
It was a very, like, sweet's not the right word. It was a very, he wasn't like, didn't seem like he was upset until he got in the car, but he wasn't ever like bad about Tayshia. He's like, yeah, I get it. Like, there's differences between us. Like, I completely understand.
Yeah.
I wish you the
He took it
best.
like a man, dude.
Yeah.
He
I was
took
like,
it like a man who was like, okay, this is a situation that is no longer in my
in my
control.
control. I
And
feel
I'm just
like,
going to deal with it in the best way I can.
I honestly feel like Ivan, Zach, and a little bit of Brendan, I feel like they are probably the most mature people I've seen on the show, in the sense of, like, I really, we're a little whatever, like, why did Brendan come on the show if he didn't think he was ready? But the fact that he did basically say to Tayshia, like, I'm not ready for this. I'm sorry. I'm going home, like sent himself home. That kind of shows me some maturity. But I truly believe that Zach and Ivan had those deep, real conversations with Tayshia. You know what I mean? Like, I truly believe that Zach, like, he was like, we need to talk about this kind of stuff because he is
Right.
older and has more experiences, where I don't think Ben would have brought up those conversations. And which I want
No,
to
not
talk
at all.
about I'll talk about it later, the whole Ben thing. But yeah, I just feel like it was very obvious and nice to see these older men on the show and have these like real, I believe they've had these real conversations.
Yeah, Zach ended up winning me over.
Me
Like for
too.
real. Like by the end of this, I was like, I mean, I still think the whole concept of meeting someone, falling in love, and then having a successful marriage engagement in 30 days is absolutely ridiculous. But he won me over. I mean, he seemed like it. When some people talk, you can kind of you're like you either get the sense that they're full of it, or that they're being honest, or you just can't tell. You know what I mean? It's really one of those three things. And with him, I could tell that he was, you know, he seemed to be sincere. He was not full of it.
Yeah.
Or if he is, then we'll find out later on. And he's a good actor, but dude won me over. I still don't. I mean, I don't know. And yes, he looks. Maybe it is. Maybe it is. Maybe it is. Tayshia, you know, you think back. Okay, you think back to John Paul Jones, the surfer guy look, the surfer guy attitude. Even though he's not a surfer guy at all.
No.
Okay, but this dude Zach, he looks a lot like Matthew McConaughey, who is like a surfer dude type of personality. Maybe she. I'm telling you, dude, she's into those like college frat bro, surfer dude types. Yeah, man. I can see it, dude. But yeah, I'm sitting there going, that dude looks so much like Matthew McConaughey. Maybe really that's why she's digging him so much. I don't know.
Well, I guess we'll just wrap up what Ivan left.
Sorry.
No, you're fine. Went home. He did a great audition to be the Bachelor someday. Hopefully.
I hope so too. I think he'd be better than whoever this new Joker is. I don't even know the dude's name. What's our guy's name for the next?
Matt James.
Matt James? Oh, yeah, that's right. Because I saw the ad last night, and the first thing that popped in my head is something I've said for years, which it is not nothing I made up, obviously, but it is absolutely something I live by. Never trust someone with two first names.
What is that from?
I cannot remember. But it's true. It's saying, you know, like Chuck Todd, don't ever trust nobody with two first names, man. It's not right.
Anyway.
Well, Zach, is his last name Clark or Clark? It's Clark. See, there's another perfect example.
Is that a first name? Yeah, Clark, but we like that.
Yeah, never trust somebody with two first names.
Zach
Clark.
Sure. Okay. Let's
talk you don't think there are any Clarks out there?
I've never met a Clark.
Clark Kent?
Yeah, that's not real.
He's not real, but still, I mean, it's a Clark Griswold from Vacation.
Never. They're not real people.
Clark Wolf.
Okay. Oh, true. She's a real person.
Although she's a chick, but
I'm
still.
moving on. Okay, so Zach, not hometown. What is that called? Fantasy Suite.
Yes.
Whatever. Another staple. They did a paint date where they were.
Real quick, we got to mention though, real quick, as far as the fantasy suites, the vast difference between the fantasy suites.
Oh, I like that.
What was up with that?
More. I would have been until they walked inside. I'm like, this camper is not.
Well, but still, I mean, like one dude gets a camper and the other dude, like they get an actual like nice done up deal. It just.
I would like to seen what Brendan's fantasy suite would have been like.
Yeah.
If they gotten better.
Anyway.
So the important stuff out of his date is that he told Tayshia he loved her, and she said that she loved him. Told him, which is a big deal. It's a huge deal.
Mm-hmm.
And she was like, the way she told him, she's like, "I love you too." Like she was so giddy. And
I know.
I felt this way before. I was like, It's over.
Calm
And I
down,
thought we were
girl.
gonna have like a Dale and Claire thing again. I'm like, it's over.
Oh, yeah.
It's done. Like,
Still mad Chip never got no time.
oh my god. Yeah, and that's the that's all I can
The
say
paint
about.
thing was really cheap. I'm sorry, but that's so cheesy. Like the whole
They
paint,
do that.
rolling
That's like
around,
a
making out in the paint, and all
that's
that.
a
So stupid.
Paradise date. Like they do that at least once on Paradise.
Is that something, dude? Half
No.
of these things do not seem like things that real people would ever think of doing. It's just so
You want to do
silly.
that on your date night?
No, I've never done that on a
He's like, we're
date
gonna
night.
create art. I'm like, no,
Have
it's gonna look
you?
like.
Have you ever done that on a date night?
It is. I was like, it's just gonna look like a mess. Like, it's not gonna look nice. Like,
Yeah.
yeah.
And when and I will say it was funny when she slapped his ass with the paint on her hands, and then she's like, "It splashed back on my face." Yeah, it was funny.
Oh, I guess I missed that.
Oh yeah, it was funny.
Uh-huh.
You didn't see that when she had orange paint on her hands, and he turned around and she slapped his ass cheeks really hard and put her
No,
handprints on there.
that's funny.
And then when she did that, there was so much paint on her hands that it
Oh, it
splattered
splashed
back
back.
into her face.
Oh yeah, I did see that.
She
I
starts
think
giggling, and it was cute.
they definitely do have the best chemistry.
They
I
do
would
for
say.
sure, for sure. Yeah.
You could tell she was very into him. So let's just move on to Brendan. This poor guy. They set this poor guy up.
Boo, Brendan,
They made
boo.
him go on looking at rings.
Well, he didn't look into it before he even left. You know what I mean? Like when he's sitting back at the pad and old dude comes back from their date, like he even at that point, before he even went to meet her for the date, you could tell something was going on with him. And I think it started when Ivan came back and was like, let them know that they went to the fantasy suite, which I did want to say something about that. I don't think that shit's cool. Like as a man, I would never like if me and the chick went to the fantasy suite, that is something that I would not say. I wouldn't say much at all. To be honest, all I would say is it was a good time. We had a good time.
Yeah,
and that's it. But I would never be like, yeah, but like I would never.
All night we watched the sunrise. I was like, shut up.
Yeah. But yeah, I would never let them know that we went to the fantasy suite. And I think that's when it kind of started getting in his head, like a Luke P, but not to that extreme. And then when old dude came back and he's like, Zach came back and he's like, he let it be known they went to the fantasy suite. And then I think that's when he's like, dude, like, I'm just kind of not knowing what's going on here.
Well, normally they don't put them all in one room. Like,
they don't?
No, they usually have their own. After hometowns, they don't see each other until rose ceremonies. Like, they're not in the same sharing rooms. Like, they have their own rooms at that point, which I thought was weird. Like, why didn't they which I think was them trying, because this is what they did for Peta's season, is that they put them all together. But that was because Madison was the virgin and they were trying to set her up. And I think it was the same thing with Brendan, where they were trying to set him up and get all these like insecurities come out of him, because normally like, no, they wouldn't see each other. So this wouldn't happen. So
production, man, they're evil.
Yeah, because you have the whole resort. You couldn't find them individual routes. Like, it was just very weird. And it was very,
I just thought that was normal. The normal routine of it. I mean, but I'm still a newbie here. I'm still,
Yeah, no, they don't see each other. They don't interact after their fantasy suites. And they have no idea the orders of who normally, like, they don't.
Oh, you're right. You're right. Now that I'm thinking back to Hannah B's season, you're right. You're absolutely right.
Luke had no idea. I think Luke.
Yeah, he flat out asked her. And that's what blew that up.
I think Luke P said he knew someone went before him, but he didn't know like how many people. I think he was the last one. I don't remember. But yeah, so I feel like this was all set up against Brendan, to really just get in his head.
Sad.
And they gave him the worst date I've ever seen on this show. He had to go look at engagement, which you could just tell the whole time he's just sitting there like stone faced, like sweating. Neil Lane, this weird man, is like, look at I make them all by hand. This is Neil Lane. Like, it was so weird. They walk in, he's playing the piano. It was so weird. And
I love the looks Tayshia keeps giving Brendan, because I mean she knew something was up.
Oh yeah.
She's just looking at him like, what is wrong with him?
He was not interacting at all. Like Tayshia's,
No, not at
you
all.
could tell she was trying to get him like, oh, I like this, or I like this cut, and he was just like you could tell he was freaked out. It was wild. Then he just kind of goes at, she's like, you've disconnected, like you pulled away, and he was like, yeah, I'm not really ready for this, blah blah blah. Okay. He's like, I'm gonna leave. I thought Brendan was gonna win, so
Did you really?
I did.
He looks like such a goofball, and that's not I'm not knocking on his looks. I'm just saying, like, some people look like goofballs, and he looks like a goofball. He just looks like someone I wouldn't think would seriously be in the contention.
We all thought he was gonna win. Like,
damn.
Yeah, like everyone was like, "Oh, Brendan's gonna win," and she even said, like, I think about Brendan every day. I thought it was gonna be him from our first one-on-one, which. Again, I don't know if that's true. Like, I really think Tayshia's just wrapped up in all these emotions.
Right.
With Brendan and Zach, because the stuff she was saying to Zach, like, I really believed that she really did feel that way. But with Brendan, like, I never really saw their connection. I don't know. I didn't really see what there was, because he just seems more reserved, and maybe there was more of a connection we didn't see. But through all the interactions, he just seemed very quiet to me. So I was like, okay, he's probably going to win. Like, they probably have some hidden relationship that we don't see. And then he was like, bye.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was like,
very abrupt. Well, I mean, you knew at a certain point, he's not going to be staying long. But even when you realized he wasn't going to be sticking around, he still made an abrupt exit.
Yeah, I thought he would say, like, I'm not ready. I'm not ready for an engagement, but I still want to stick around or see if we could date after this and get to know, like that. But, and then she would say, I'm not really looking for that, and she would send him home. I was not expecting for him to be like, I'm going to take myself out of this. I thought he would at least be like, I want to date after this or whatever. Or for a minute, I was like, maybe he's going to show up again and be like, this was a mistake. No, he never came back. I think he must have just realized, like, maybe I'm really not ready to be in any kind of relationship. Like, this is too much.
Still makes no sense. I mean, you signed on to play a game where the end result is you end up in a relationship, and you sit there.
You would have to. I don't get when people say that. Like, I'm sure that maybe that environment brings up a bunch of stuff because you're not like all you have are your thoughts. So maybe you're bringing up stuff about yourself and you're kind of realizing things. But when people say, like, oh yeah, I just thought I was ready, but I guess I'm not, it's kind of like, well, there's always that chance that you could have been the one. You know what I mean? Like, if you're truly going on the show for love, you have to have at least like 50% in your mind think like, oh, I will probably end. You know what I mean? There's people that just obviously that just go on there for the free fun and stuff like that, which I don't think. I think these men were older, so I don't really think a lot of them were on there for the publicity and the Instagram fame and stuff like that. So that's where I think it's a little surprising, because I don't see Brendan being that guy that was like, I'm just here to get my followers up. Like, I feel like he probably really thought he was ready. That's why I'm just like, we're okay, whatever. But yeah, he left. And let's go to break. When we come back from break, I have a lot to say about Ben. We'll just kind of wrap Ben all up in one nice little bow and say goodbye. We'll be right back after this break.
Hey guys, Sean and Wade are back, and we're here to tell you about the next season of our Mandalorian show, Hey Mando. That's right, this year, we have a name.
Hell yeah, dude, Boba Fett Season 2!
Wade, please.
Dude, what? I can't wait to watch the continuing adventures of Boba Fett and Baby Yoda.
The Mandalorian. Not Boba Fett. It's not Boba Fett. And it's not Baby Yoda. It's the child.
Yeah! Boba Fett and Baby Yoda!
You know what? Whatever. Join us every Friday at 6:30 p.m. Eastern live on the Merc with the Movie Blog YouTube channel, or catch the podcast version on the Merc with the Movie Blog podcast feed as we cover every episode of The Mandalorian Season 2.
Hey, Jay Wade here to tell you about SEN After Live, our SEN Live After Show, where we talk about, well, whatever Christian, Brett, and the rest of the crew talk about and the insanity that ensues. So join us each week here on the Merc with the Movie blog feed on your podcasting platforms, as well as YouTube now on the SEN After Live channel. Talk to you then.
All right, and we're back. Make sure you go check out their shows. Let's just jump in. Let's just jump into it. So the end of Monday's episode, Ben shows up, which I think I said that he was going to show up, which I wasn't surprised. And he said a bunch of stuff, said he loved her, it left on a cliffhanger, whatever. Tuesday's night's episode starts out with the whole Ben drama. This is where I got issues with this man. You could tell Tayshia was not happy he was there at first. And this is where she confuses me because I don't know. Like, she was not happy. And then she decided that he could stay, invited him. Yeah. And it was so weird.
Kind of not right to the other two guys.
No, I would have been pissed. This man got sent home at hometown. Didn't have, you could tell Zach was kind of pissed off. Didn't have a fantasy suite and still made it to the final two. I don't think that's ever happened. And I don't see anyone talking about it, but I don't think that's ever happened, that someone got sent home and then got invited back to top two. Like, that's crazy. Yeah, just didn't make sense to me. Oh, Ben. Ben. I messaged you like 5 minutes into this episode, and I was like, I cannot stand Ben. I cannot deal with him. And it's just the fact that, like, I think what really irks me about this boy is that he kept saying, like, I love Tayshia. I love the way she makes me feel. I've never felt in love. I've never felt in love like this. I've never been in love. Like, I don't know. But he just kept saying, like, that I love the way Tayshia makes me feel. And I'm just like, love is more than a feeling. This feeling is fleeting.
What a feeling.
Like, it has to be more than that. And I never heard him really say, until he got sent home, really say, like, I love, like, Zach was constantly like, I love the way Tayshia treats people. I love how she makes me feel, but I love that she's this outgoing person and she's independent. Like, it was actually saying attributes about her, where it was always felt like Ben was like, I like how she makes me feel. I like that I've never felt this way. And it wasn't so much like, it was just more like an infatuation with the idea that he's like never felt this way, I've never felt in love, and not so much it didn't matter what qualities Tayshia had. It was just that, like, oh, she makes me feel this way and I'm in love with the feeling that I have no matter who it was. You know what I mean?
Right. And it's also interesting, I found that that he didn't realize that he loved her until a family friend told him that he loved her. But then when he's sitting there talking to her dad, he flat out lies and is like, I've been in love with Tayshia for several weeks now. And it's like, dude, you just sat there and lied to her father's face. And you think that you have it. I don't know.
He didn't realize what he's been feeling for her is love.
Whatever.
So now he's like, oh, this how I've been feeling is love. So I've been.
Well, it ain't love either, dude. You just met her 30 days ago. Not even 30 days ago. You just met this broad. Anyway.
And that's what I kept saying. I was like, this is not love. Like, he does not love her. He thinks he loves her, but he doesn't love her. And he kept saying, like, he loves the fantasy and the idea that would be her in their relationship and their life together. But what I saw with Zach and Tayshia was, especially in Zach's proposal or one of their talks, saying, like, at one point Tayshia said, Zach really cares for me, or like, I can tell, like, he cares a lot about me. And just the way they talked to each other just felt very like, I love these things about you, but like, we're going to have these tough conversations. Like, I don't feel like Ben's lived enough life yet to get married. You know what I mean?
Right. Well, and he's still looking for validation.
Yes.
His
the
words.
whole
And I
time.
think that has a lot to do with it too. He wasn't trying to win. He wasn't in love. Love had nothing to do with it. He wanted to win a thing called validation. And I really believe that. I believe that with that episode, when he said that word and said that he was not validated because he didn't get a rose, at that point right there, I think everything in his head switched to, I need to win this game, but to me, winning is not winning her in an engagement. Winning is validation.
Yeah.
And I do not like this guy. He's weak sauce, and I don't like him.
I feel like it was very much like not what he could give to Tayshia and then being equal, but what Tayshia could give to him to make him feel better about himself and his relationship. And then, well, at one point she asked him before she invited him back, like, are you ready to get married? Like, what, or no, the dad asked that. But I think at one point she said, like, what if we are together and things get hard, are you just going to walk away? And he never answered the question. He just said, I blew it. Like, oh, okay, you blew it, but are you going to blow it again? Like, are you just going to give up? Like, sorry. He constantly keeps saying, like, and he said to the dad, Tayshia's always asking me to show up and I keep showing up for her. That's fine. That's good. But, like, a relationship is a lot more than these grand gestures of him just constantly showing up. Like, you know what I mean? Like, at a certain point, and I think the dad said it, like, she has to stop, like, pulling stuff out of him and begging for him to show up. Yeah. Because that's not healthy. And that's not her responsibility. It's not her responsibility to make him ready for a relationship. I'm pretty sure that's what the dad said. And
that's a one-sided relationship there, and that don't work.
Yes, and that's what I'm saying. It felt very like Ben is getting all this. It's the validation. He's trying to get all this validation. Like, this love is making me feel great, but it didn't seem like it was two-sided. Where he was also giving that back to her as like, I want her to feel the way that I feel. Where I feel like Zach's was very like, we're open to street. It's not just me getting love out of it. And I think the dad even said, like, Ben, are you ready to get married? And he never answered the question.
Yeah. Well, it's like before when we what's his knuckle? I can't remember these guys' names, and I don't care either. But earlier on in the episode, when there were the two guys having the beef, and she asked one of them, like, you know, did you say this or were you doing this? And he stepped it completely, never answered her.
Joseph and the other one?
Yes. One of those. Well,
that was Claire. That was like Claire.
Oh, no, I don't know. They all bleed together. They're all a bunch of blowhards. I don't know. Except Zach. Zach won me over. Yeah. And Ivan, I like Ivan. I like Ivan and Zach, and I'm in Chip, of course. Still
Chip.
Never got any time. And which really annoys me because, okay, let's be real here for a second. Because, okay, now, Dale ended up riding off into the sunset. Chip didn't get no time whatsoever. And that is something that happens to a lot of people. A lot of average, normal people, and I want you
just too average to even be.
Yes. Producers, they're at go get that rose. Producers at Bachelor, dude, for real though, we need to be all inclusive, not just more inclusive. Okay, it's great. We've got our first Black Bachelor coming up soon. Sara and I, we're stoked. We're excited.
I'm excited. I want it to be Ivan, but I'm excited.
Yeah. I don't even remember that last guy's name that we wanted it to be. Now I want Ivan. But we need to be all inclusive, okay? Not just more inclusive. Let's get some real people on there. Let's get some average people on there. Shake things up a little bit. That's why, guys and gals out there, everyone listening, hashtag J Wade for Bachelor, because fat guys deserve love too. And we need to get this going on, guys. Let's do this. Let's get some real quality quality stuff going on this show, because I guarantee you want some entertainment. I'll entertain you. I guarantee
I'll
you.
entertain you.
Yes, you put me on that show. I guarantee you at least one girl is gone as soon as I see her step out of that limo. At least one. I promise you.
There's going to be at least 100 girls on this show.
Oh, yeah. So hashtag J Wade for Bachelor, because fat guys deserve love too. Yep.
That was beautiful. Yeah. Go tweet that out for the inclusive. I can't say it. Anyway. Yeah, I mean, the dad came back and basically was like, Ben's not, we're just moving on. Ben's not your guy. And she sent him home. I think the way it was edited, I think she sent him home right after that, because the outfit she was wearing was the same outfit she was wearing talking to her dad. Like, they showed her talking to her dad, and then her date with Zach, and then her dumping Ben. But I'm pretty sure she just went straight dumped Ben and then just had a date with Zach the next day. Just a little tricky. Yeah, what did you think about, because I don't think you've ever seen her parents. What did you think about Tayshia's parents? Love her dad.
Yeah, I do. I like her dad. Yeah, he was solid, man. Her mom's a little, she's like a little short chick, kind of. I love that. Short chicks rock. What is she, her
mom's white?
Well, no, she looked to me though like she had like maybe some Hispanic or something.
I think so. I think she said, yeah.
She looks like a little firecracker, man. Like you don't want to mess with her, dude. But she looked like she was maybe Hispanic or something a little bit. I'm not sure.
I wish we had more interaction with her brothers. Like, I wish her brothers talked.
Yeah. They looked cool. I mean,
yeah.
You know, they're brothers. They're little brothers. You know, what do you want me to say? You know, I'm a little brother, so I'm a 41-year-old little brother. Wow. Chew on
that. The dad was kind of taking me off though sometimes, because he was saying like, I don't want her to get hurt. It's my responsibility to make sure she doesn't get hurt. And I'm kind of like, it's not though.
No, it's not really.
I understand, and I do like that she kind of at one point she talked about how during her divorce, like she like sobbed and cried to her dad, and the one part where Zach told the dad like, oh, was just like, she's told me that that like you've been her rock and that's what she's looking for in a guy. It made me tear up. I was like, that's very
and then he set the bar high. And he's not afraid of that, dude. Everything he told that dad, like I don't have kids, so I don't know, but putting myself in the position if I had a daughter and a guy is telling me those exact things, I would still probably not trust him and not like him, but I would be able to recognize it like this is not just telling me what this is not some guy just trying to make a good impression and that's it. Like he actually came off as sincere about what he was saying and like he believed in what he was saying and stuff. And Zach, like I just said, dude, earlier, Zach won me over, man. Dude's good.
Over. Completely. I thought it was very sweet. That's what
hit me up, Zach.
Just everything he was saying, it just felt like it was very genuine. Like I didn't feel like he was trying to win the game or be the final one standing. Like I truly believe that they did have those tough like conversations. Like because most people were like, I don't think they ever really talked about where they were going to live or getting divorced, like those kind of things. But with them, I really do believe that Zach was probably like, let's talk about this kind of stuff. We've both been divorced. I've gone through a whole bunch of really hard stuff. Like,
do you like Star Wars? The important things.
The important stuff.
Yes, the important questions. Because I don't know if I could be with a chick who didn't like Star Wars.
Yeah.
Let's just be real. I don't know how that would work, Sarah.
Those are the conversations I had with my husband. So, you know.
It was or wasn't?
It was. Oh, yeah.
Oh, it was? Really?
Yeah, I had to make sure he liked Harry Potter. He was a nerd. He liked Star Wars. I was dropping like hints. I was like, oh, yeah. The first times we hung out, we went to Best Buy. there was like a group of us, and I was like, oh, I love the Lord of the Rings, which is his favorite movies. And he looked at me, he was like, he told me later, like, that was the moment I knew.
Yeah. Oh no, I get it. I mean,
I was just dropping hints.
yeah, man. If there was a chick I was digging or something, man, and she's like, you know, ooh, I love 9 Inch Nails, I'd be like, yeah, girl. Woo! So, yeah, I get it.
Yeah, I mean, I guess we'll just wrap up with Ben. She sent him home. I thought,
get out of here, Ben.
I respect the fact that she went and kind of sent him home and didn't make him come and propose and then send him home.
That would have been terrible.
That would have been bad. She went to the room and basically was just like, I'm in love with someone else, or I have stronger feelings for someone else. And he handled it better. At a moment, I thought he's going to show up at the final thing.
Oh, that would have been insane. What if he would have showed up during their proposal with her and Zach?
I thought moment I thought when Zach was walking down, it was going to be Ben, and he was going to be like, give me another chance, because I looked down and we had 20 minutes left, and I was like, something else has to happen.
Right.
That didn't happen. But yeah, anything else about Ben?
She was consistent though throughout this whole process, as far as like not stringing guys along. She was consistent with that. Like if it was getting too real, or she realized that, you know, this is the moment where it would be wrong now to let them continue, she cut it off, man. So I mean, there's a lot of things about her that I like. There's a couple things I'm just kind of like, you're silly. But there are so many things about her I like, and that's one of them. She does seem to be genuinely concerned about how her actions make other people feel, and that's a great quality.
Yeah, because there have been other bachelorettes that have let the runner-up, go very far and like almost propose, and they're like, well, I just wasn't feeling it or whatever, and people are always kind of like, why'd you let it go that far if you knew you weren't going to pick them? And yeah, I respect the fact that she did that. And she only told Zach that she loved him, like he was the only one, so it's not like she also told Ben. I don't think she told Ben that she loved him, right?
No.
Or that she was,
I think
recall because she was like falling for him, but I think Zach's the only one that she was really different towards. I don't know. Like she was very different. And Brendan. But once Brendan left, like Zach was the only one she was super giddy around. You could just tell. Like you could really tell like there was something different. And let's just talk about that proposal real quick. Did you think he was going to propose? Or did you think maybe
of course. Okay. There was, from my perspective, I never had a single doubt that Zach was in this for the long haul.
Okay.
I never got the impression from him that he was having any doubts whatsoever. Okay. Now, I was worried about Tayshia. I was worried about whether or not she was going to go through with it all. But no, on Zach's end, and I was kind of more so concerned about Zach's feelings at that point, because I'm like, dude, to me, Zach is all in and Tayshia's still teetering, you know, even during the proposal. And I'm like, dude, oh man, like, I hope he does not get crushed right here.
She shows up and Chris Harrison like asked her like 3 times, like, are you okay? Because she was just so... That's where I thought Ben was going to show up, because we've been seeing these previews of her like crying at the proposal, which she was crying because she was overwhelmed, which I figured. But yeah, I mean, the one conversation they had on their final date, I think I said it before, when she's just sitting there and she's kind of stressed out and overthinking everything, and she was saying like, I'm this independent woman and I know like you love that about me, but what if one day I just want to be a stay-at-home mom? Like, are you still gonna love me? Which I think those are some really important conversations to have. Like, do you just love this version of me? Like, are you gonna love me if I change and I'm not this career first oriented and I just want to stay home with my kids? Like, you know what I mean? And I really respected his answer of like, I'm gonna love you no matter what. Like, that's not what I love about you, is like, I love these qualities about you, but I'm not expecting you, like, I'm expecting you to change and these, you know what I mean? Like, to not just be this person, which I just thought the way he comforted her was like really real. I don't know. We keep saying it. Like I loved it. I love seeing them. Their proposal was beautiful. I was sobbing. Like it was
Well, I mean, I wasn't like that, but it was
I wasn't
sweet.
sobbing, but I was crying. It was very sweet. And it was very just like him just saying like, yeah, like I love you and it's going to be hard. And him talking about how it was his 9-year anniversary of being sober and how that is important to him and how that was the hardest moment so he could be here for her hardest moment. I was just like, this is beautiful. Like
Yeah.
it was very sweet and very real. And I believe that hopefully that they work out. Like, yeah. I think they probably won't, but
I mean, just because, like I've always said, I'm sorry, but you're not
going to meet couples that work out.
You're not going to meet somebody and fall in love with them in 30 days and all that. It's just, it's a ridiculous notion.
I don't know. I think that they had the conversations that they'll last for a while, maybe a couple years until hard life hits them. But I think at this point, they are probably one of the better prepared couples.
Right. I hope they last. They seem like, who knows? They seem cute together.
But they don't seem too similar, but they don't seem too different either.
Right.
I mean, like, I can see where she says, like, he brings out this goofy side of me, and he says she brings out, the one part where he said, when you met my parents, and he started crying, and he was like, they've never seen me so happy, and that's all because of you, and I want to make you that happy the way you make me happy. I lost it. I was like, that's beautiful. Yeah. Like, it was very sweet, very beautiful. Anything else about this season? That about wraps it up.
Yeah, no, it was actually a good ending.
It really was.
Yeah. I dug it. I think the main takeaways from all of this is that Claire sucks, Chip got screwed, American Psycho is just absolutely amazingly entertaining, but also a complete jerk off. And Tayshia is great. Zach won me over, and Ivan should be a bachelor in the future.
Yeah, that sounds about right. The last thing I do want to say is that I did not miss not having the live studio audience, whatever. Yeah. Usually these finales are 3 hours long because they do the finale, then the after the final rose, and whatever. Like, I didn't miss it. I didn't miss these random interviews. It's fine. It just felt like a normal TV show, and they can keep it that way. They can
for sure
cut that stuff out. It's fine. And yeah, great season. Love Tayshia as a Bachelorette. I sometimes forget it was also Claire. I think they should have maybe cut down the Claire stuff and not have made it so many episodes.
You didn't need Claire at all. They should have just been like, hey guys, we had this chick named Claire who cheated the game. She didn't play the game right, and she screwed everybody over. So
because it's not like we got to know the guys during her season. You know what I mean? Like, it's not like we needed to watch those 4 episodes to really connect with the men that we're going to see in Tayshia's season.
Right.
Like, we didn't. So they could have just done like an episode. The first episode just be a quick whirlwind thing of Claire and Dale falling in love, and then we start with Tayshia. Like, that's what they should have done. But whatever, it's fine. Great season. We love Ivan. Bring Ivan back.
Yes.
Yeah, and I don't really, and Riley, Ivan and Riley, everyone else, it's fine. I don't want to see you again. Bye. That's the end of The Bachelorette. We will be back when I guess 2 weeks, I guess, because The Bachelor premieres on January 4th. We'll probably stick with our Wednesdays live at 7 just because consistency gives us a day to think about what we're going to be watching. This season's going to be really interesting. He's never been in the Bachelor franchise at all. So it's going to be really interesting to see how he kind of handles the pressure of being the lead, not knowing how the game works, not knowing really anything. I mean, he's Tyler Cameron's best friend, and he's best friends with Hannah Brown. That's how he got the job. Everyone knows that. So it's going to be very interesting to see how he handles this season. Girls are very entertaining, so I'm excited. We'll be back the 6th, I believe, recapping that season. Until then, J Wade, where can the people find you, follow you?
Y'all can find me or follow me on the Twitter at JWade1134. That is the letter J, WADE1134. And my bio's there. I do some other stuff too. The JCast Network. Check it out.
You can follow me on Twitter at SCBOC, SSEABOCK. You can follow the show at the show's Twitter at Go Get That Rose. And you can follow Merc with a Movie Blog at Movie Blog Merc. You can find this show and other shows anywhere you find podcasts. And you can watch our faces, if you're only listening on podcasts, on YouTube at the Merc with a Movie Blog channel as well. Everyone have a happy holiday, safe holidays, whatever holidays you celebrate. If you don't celebrate holidays, that's okay too. It's a crazy time. I get it. Everyone just stay safe out there, and we will see you in 2 weeks. Bye.